Hello Flosstube, I am Leanne, Stitchy Moon Crafts. We are formerly known as Morgana Stitchy Moon 75, but I have to remember it is now Stitchy Moon Crafts. Joining us today is Nicole Reid from Divana Lee Designs Studio.
Hello.
And we're at the Bunya Mountains for Dee Dee's retreat.
And this is our view. Very nice, very nice. And we're on a lazy Susan, that's why I can move it so neatly. Back to Leanne. Back to you, Leanne.
So it has been not so long this time. Normally I think this is probably a record in between my floss tubes. But we have Nicole joining us today. Do you
want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we've been up at the Bunya Mountains. I've been here since Friday, and today's Monday, so we've been here for the entire weekend, 3 nights, and not much stitching. Lots of talking, not much stitching. So I worked on my Snow Village project, and I'm up to this little house here, and I'm doing this in one go. And that's sort of where I'm at. Sorry,
you're right.
Just take you out. Like, we don't need Leanne, do we? We'll just take her out.
Didn't like my front teeth anyway.
Sorry. And it's wood too. Like, it's solid wood. It hurt. Sorry, Leanne. Just take you out there. So that's what I worked on. I worked on the little house, and I just filled in the door, and yeah, not much stitching got done. The other project that I worked on was another Christmas one, which I don't actually have a cover picture for this one. I forgot it, and it's from My Fanny, she's an Italian designer. I found her originally on Instagram, I think. Was it Instagram? Or I may have actually found her through Gail. Yeah, Wombat Crafts. Wombat Hollow Crafts. I think she actually has them, and I might have found them through her because
I think
Gail's an enabler. She enables all of us. But that's what I got done. I forgot my flosses for it, so I could only work with the colours that I had here that were long strands hanging out of it. Luckily, I'd parked a whole heap of stuff, so I was able to finish that off. And, I'll hopefully get that done in the next week or so. But I'm not known, if you don't know me, I'm not known for finishing. I'm known for starting. The next one I worked on was Barbara Anna Designs. This one is part of my Dee Dee Spooktober that I run each year that Leanne has joined in the fun. And I started this back in 2020 when I did 30 new starts for Spooktober. That was insanity. Don't recommend it. You will be stitching Halloween for the rest of your life. And I like Halloween, but yeah, I don't recommend it. And this is where I'm up to. So when I got here, I had just done the key to there, and I just got that little bit, but I had to frog out and then redo again, and I got the little spider done. So that's, I'm pretty happy with how that's going. And then I have a focus piece that I tried to work on this weekend, and I got just over 500 stitches in it. I think I did 200 one day, 260 the next day, something like that. So, 250 one day, I can't remember, but that's what it's going to look like. I don't generally count stitches anymore. I used to count stitches, but I don't count them anymore. The only reason I know how much I've put into this is because of Pattern Keeper. It counts it for me, so I don't need to worry about it. All right, so we've got a lot of light behind us, so I've got to put my hand there, sorry. I have worked this area here and a little bit of green there. Not super exciting because this has a lot of 939 in it, and that's the colour that I'm working. But if you look there, you can see there's a couple of other colours, blues and greens, and tiny, tiny, tiny 10 black stitches in the middle of the tree, which you can't even see. I'm like, why did I waste my time? I should have just put 939 in there, because it's seriously, you look at it and you need the big magnifier out to see where the 10 stitches are. If you can find it, like if you hold it up here, actually there's probably 30. There's 2 little spots, so just there and just there.
Yeah.
That you guys aren't going to see it. I just, Leanne and I are just going to have a conversation. The next one that I worked on was Pick Your Poison. Again, I forgot my flosses. I work with CXC floss and DMC. My DMC is when I don't have a CXC one, because I purchased all the CXC when I first started cross stitching, and so then I got DMC to sell in my store, and so I don't use the DMC, I use the CXC. When the CXC goes, then I probably won't use it because I'll have the DMC. But yeah, I started working, went to go and work on this, and I'm like, yeah, no, not much. I was hoping to get it finished, but no, it didn't happen. So I ended up just putting the last little jar in, and I filled in the white because I had white here in another project that had floss with it because it was a kit, and that needle just stabbed me before, which was just fabulous. And this is what I've got done so far. So I'm pretty close to a finish, and this is on 28 count strawberry latte tea coffee dye. And
I love the colour of this.
Yeah, I originally done this fabric for Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird Designs.
Yeah.
And what I did is there are different teas that you can get on the market. I do a lot of natural dyeing for myself, not so much to sell, because you can't guarantee that it's going to hold colour and stuff like that. And this was when I was sort of learning, and I drink this tea, and it's called strawberry tea, and it has a pink hue to it. So I put some coffee in, just a little bit of coffee, and then threw about 10 tea bags in to give it that real pink colour. And it doesn't pick up on camera very often, but every now and again you'll see a pink hue to it, and it's about there. And this was left over from that project, so I just thought, well, I'll just use that because I like to use my leftover stuff. And originally I was going to turn this into a little pillow, but I've since decided that I'm going to go with the frames, probably a little bit chunkier than this one. Like I think this one's just a little bit too thin, and not rustic enough. I think it needs to be a bit more rustic. So I'm going to go with a bit of a chunkier frame, and then that way I can sit it up on the wall or on my door or something like that. Yeah. And I had a new start this week, which was Humming of the Bees by Blackbird Designs. This is with Deb from Frog Cottage Designs and Chrissy Stitches on Instagram. She doesn't have a YouTube channel or Flosstube. Chrissy Stitches, she's just on Instagram. And she is best friends with Deb from Frog Cottage Designs. They've known each other for a very long time, and this is their birthday sale.
So I will get details for both of them, and I'll put them down below. I'm not very good, as you all know, with doing links, but I'll have their names. And
I'll send them through.
Nicole will help me with that.
And, so I've just started in the border. I started it and I got across, and then I realised I counted these ones off one too close to the flower. So the first one was right, this was right, and then I'd done all these. And then I hadn't done the leaves or anything. I'd just done the stalks of it. And then so I got to it and I'm like, Nicole can't count. So if you don't know me, I can't count. I need to go back and watch Sesame Street because Nicole can't count.
You're right at home here after the disaster of my wolves.
So I got all the way here and I'm like, yeah, I'll get heaps done. And then I'm like, no. Frog it out and start again. But I didn't have to pull it all out. I only had to pull those out. So it wasn't so bad.
And it's something like you're better off to do it now.
Yeah, and it was just lucky that I noticed because I'm like, hang on a second, that's not on the 13th one. I've put that on the 14th one. Oh.
Yeah.
That's not going to work when I get over there. There's going to be a big gap between, because I would have counted off the one that was right. And then I would have got to the other side
and not be
right. Yeah, so I just went, you can come out. But that's all I've worked on.
And do you have plans going forward?
No, not at this point. I have a lot of stuff going on in the background at the moment, so I'm just going to plod along. I've got 2 bags with my Spooktober stuff still sitting in it and my Christmas one. The Snow Village one I work on every week, and that is my Stitch With Me every Monday. So yeah, I work on that every week. So that one is guaranteed to get some stitches in it. As for everything else, I have no idea. And the only reason that does is because it's a video.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And well, as Nicole said, she does her Stitch With Me. So check it out. I generally do it after work on a Monday. But yeah, definitely pop over to Nicole's page.
Thanks.
Or her channel. Nicole is multi-craft, so it's a whole variety.
I do a lot of stuff on my channel. I do cross stitch, I do embroidery, anything that I'm learning new, I actually bring you along for the journey. So we have crafting with DDs. I actually post every day, a video every day. Most of my videos are anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour. So there's a lot of content on there. And yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask.
Yeah. And you also have your booktube.
Yes, I have yes, and I talk books. I used to do it on my channel, but I read a lot of books. So that was going to be a lot of book content on a craft channel. So I decided to create a book channel. And so now I talk about books on both. In my Stitch With Me, I do, you know, like there's only so much you can talk about. You know, and people don't want to hear about your kids every single week. So what I'm doing now with my Stitch With Me is I'll read a book and there might be a movie out. So just recently I read The Martian and there's a movie. I have never seen the movie because that's blatantly obvious that I don't watch TV when you read 130 books and we're not even at the end of the year yet. So obviously I don't watch too much TV. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm doing comparisons, and that started back in, I think, May or June. I read Memoirs of a Geisha and then tried to find the movie, finally found the movie, watched the movie, and it was just so different. Like they left out so many key components in that it was just like, that's why the movie just wasn't the same. Like it was not the same. It just didn't have the same atmosphere or anything like that. So that's what I'm doing now. And I've just recently done The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, okay.
Because that's a Shirley Jackson book, and I read that, and then I realised that there was the Catherine Zeta-Jones movie, The Haunting, is based on that book, because I'm like reading the book. I'd never read the book before, and I'm reading, I'm like, I must have read this book before. And it wasn't until I went searching after I read the book that I realised that a lot of these movies were inspired by this book. Shirley Jackson, I think she wrote that back in the 50s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's 1959 or something like that. And she is like the queen of bump in the night type thing. She doesn't do horror as such that I have read. It's more just Spectre stuff. And or The House Is Not Quite Right, you know, which is the Hill House one. So I've done that, and I just do that now on a Monday, and sometimes I'll talk about my kids. Like there's been a lot of that lately because Savannah's just graduated and all that sort of stuff. So
and because your channel for that is
Dusty Book Sniffers.
I love it. There is nothing nicer than the smell of pages.
That's right. And and my profile picture is me sniffing a book. And an older looking book as well. So hence Dusty Book Sniffers. And I do read a lot of classics and stuff like that. So that's sort of my husband actually came up with the name. When he was younger, he said he was at a party and he does this really weird voice. He goes, Dusty Book Sniffer, like this. And so I'm like, I'm using it.
Yeah, it's such a great name. So if you're a reader, definitely go over and check out Dusty
Book Sniffers.
I love it.
And I'm not an analytical reader, so you're not going to be getting like someone that I tell you if I like the story or not. If the story is good, the story is good. If it's not, it's not. I'm going to tell you. And I have a star rating where I do 1 to 5, 3 being an average read, but most people would really enjoy the story. 5 is an exceptional book for me. 4 is a really good book and everybody should read it. And same with the 5s. I haven't sent anyone on a bum steer yet that I've been told. So, it's a great way. If you're not sure, you can come along and read it and we'll listen about it, and then you can go and read it.
Yeah, definitely. It's it is a good way to review it rather than
well, Gail, I often I've talked about a book and then she's ordering it before I've even finished talking about it.
It's good to hear because you just go, is it worth buying?
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. Like a lot of the cozy stuff I'm going to be talking about on my craft channel because I started a lot of cozy stuff on the channel. So there's a few series that I've been talking to everybody on Divine Lead Designs.
Quilting, aren't there?
There's one that is about she owns a cross stitch store.
Right.
Well, and she owns a needlework store because it's not just cross stitch that she has in it. That's a series by Amanda Lee. I've still got that. I've also talked about the Virgin River series on my craft channel, and also the Sweet Magnolias series on Netflix. That is a series of books by Cheryl Wood, and I've read 3 of those. So, and I completely forgot that I had started that series. Like, it completely just went out of my head, and I'm like, you probably want to know where that ended up. So I'm going to do a lot of the cozy stuff that I read, because the Dusty Book Sniffers is a lot of classics, a lot of contemporary. Not too much romance, but there is some romance over there, and the odd cozy mystery and stuff.
Good variety.
Yeah, like, I'm very, very eclectic. I'm not one or the other, because I think eclectic reading makes you a better reader.
Yeah.
Well-rounded.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion, and I'm opinionated, obviously. Anyway.
And that's okay.
Well, not in some people's eyes, but all right.
Well, this week I've only worked on 4, and because being the retreat, I thought I'm going to bring 4 projects that I really want to get a good amount of time on. I'll show, so this is my nemesis, the In Harmony by Dimensions. And for those of you that have been following, I was nearly going to give it the flick. So I managed to, I think I showed that I'd frogged all of the wolf without his face. So I've now started on this section here. So just a small start back into it, but I'm happy. I got a few stitches in. It's come out of the mothballs now.
It's looking amazing. That moon.
I do. I must admit, I do love, and I actually contemplated just leaving that section, but you've got an ear here, and if I pull out the ear, you know it's not there.
I think you'd look a little bit special without the ear there. So, unless, of course, actually, you could probably take this section here, fill in some more white, and just have a little slither, like come in this side, and have a tree, like the
make the tree.
Make another line of trees or something. But then I think the whole piece is a nice piece, though.
Yeah. I think, he wanted something, because it's for my son, for those of you that have just started watching. I did start this, I haven't got my book with me, but I think I started this in maybe 2020.
No, actually. 2019, I think it was, you started this.
Because I had actually done a wolf for my aunt and my son wanted it. So I started this. I got this for him for Christmas, and that was the plan, was to finish it. Should have been done by now. But I didn't say when. So.
No, you didn't say what Christmas, so that's fine.
So now this one, I'm so impressed. I don't, as you know, count stitches, but because I'm using Pattern Keeper on this one, this is my Lisa Parker.
Your witch is just eating your fabric.
My Lisa Parker Witching Hour. And I got 1,000 stitches in, or just over 1,000 stitches this weekend. Yes, so all the...
I'll do the Delvine.
So now this will be the whole length of it. So that's, or the width, sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yep. No, so width, is that the edge?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this will be the edge now.
Yep.
My plan is by the end of the year to be down, have that top whole banner part done, which I think is achievable. I think I'm on track.
So is this like the bottom of the first, like the pages,
Yes.
or is it 2 pages down?
No, bottom of the first pages.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So I transitioned from paper copy to Pattern Keeper, which I'm loving, and I think it makes me a faster stitcher.
It does. A lot of people
Yeah.
say that about Pattern Keeper, and I think it does because like you're easier to keep track of. Like paper, you got to find it and all the rest of it. Where on the screen, and I think we're so used to digital stuff now. That's why it makes it easier. And you can enlarge it too to just work one square.
Yeah, and that's exactly. I'm finding if I work square by square, it just goes. And I did all of this patch here, I think, and most of this part. So I thought I'll bring it down to here and then work across that way.
And most of this is black in here, isn't it?
Yeah. So this weekend I just concentrated only on the black part because it is confetti through here. Not a lot, but it's the more of the brown and the grey.
So yeah, you've got
some of the
some of the curtain there. Yeah.
So so I'm really happy with what I've got done. And this is on, I think it's on 18 count.
Yeah, 18 count, easy grid.
Yeah,
by Zwagart.
Yeah. It's been so long, and I just thought I need to start getting this. I figure if I'm going to be buried with it, I would like a little more than just the moon.
At least a cat's head, maybe.
Yeah, so that's my aim. Now for September sampler, I started Midnight Watch by Blackbird Design. This is on my big stash of 28 count. This one's actually on Rustique. So I flipped it. So I don't know if you can see the Rustique has the pattern on it. And I wanted this for my Halloween Quaker, but I decided I didn't have time to wait for fabric to come for September. So I just used this, and I only want to have one Hawk Run Hollow going at a time because I've got 2 Hades on the go. So I got more of the moon done. So I'm really happy with how this is coming. So the moon looks really good, and I think I did a bit more of the border as well. So it's
I love it. I like your needle winder too.
Yeah. I don't know where I got it from, but I got this originally for my Lisa Parker one, and then when I started doing this one, I thought, nope, I've got the witch on her, and this one needs the little cat. So it's
his tail longer. Once upon a time,
I think it might have been actually. I think he's yes, I think it was. I've had it for quite a while, so
well, ever since I've been watching you, and I started watching you because of your Lisa Parker.
Yeah. And he was on that.
And
so it's because I got to stop calling the Lisa Parker one Loki's piece, because the cat on the books is likes exactly like my cat Loki. So, and this one, that would have helped, was my Away We Ride.
By Blackbird Designs. That's what the chart's going to look like, and that's what we've got now.
So I started this one for Spooktober in 2020. And
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I thought you only started it this year.
No, so
well, there you go.
This was one of the ones, because a lot of my 2020 Spooktobers were little, and I think I only had 3 larger ones.
That would explain it.
Now I had this one, Old Witch Mary, When Witches Ride are the last 3 of the 2020
because you started only 10, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think I managed because I had quite a lot of little ones to do, and I thought I'd lost one, and then I noticed when I did Flosstube, the witch was at the other end of Away We Ride, and I was like, that's right, I did it on navy fabric.
But it's coming along really good.
Yeah, so I'm loving it. I made a counting mistake here. I know you're all shocked, but I did. That it's somewhere along the bottom.
We obviously went to the same preschool.
So I have omitted the second border here, but I don't know that I'm going to try and put it in. Originally, I thought I would just try for one stitch down, but I think it looks really good with that.
It's fine. Like, you wouldn't even know. So, like, that's the border she's talking about just there. Like, you wouldn't even know.
No.
Like, if you don't, if you stop talking about it, no one's going to know.
So, so I'm loving the colours that I'm working with on this, and I think I'm just going to keep it out now. Originally, I was going to put it away at the end of October, but I'm just going to keep it going.
And blanket.
Sorry, that needle's just about to. Yes, this was out of the fabric from my 2020. I'm going to miss out on all the fabric in the world. Need to buy it now, quick. And
I don't think you were the only one that did that.
I have so much 28 count fabric, and I will be stitching on it till the end of time. So my finish, I think I showed last time, which was Old Witch Mary, but I can't remember if I did. So I thought I'll bring her up because I'm going to give this to Nicole, which I hadn't told her at the last time I did my Flosstube.
Oh, yes, that's right. I found out that I have a job coming. Now I remember. I remember now. Oh, yes, I'm finishing this. I'm doing it in a flat fold.
Yeah, so I'm thinking a flat fold, but I don't know, whatever. I think it would work well as a flat fold. I just wasn't sure if it was too big. So.
No, I've got like some Little House Needleworks ones that are like probably a little bit slimmer, but they're quite tall, and I've just got them. They fold out like a photo.
Yep.
Like it's got a stand on the back.
Yeah. Because we rent and I'm not allowed to put anything up on the walls. And I thought if I frame it, it's never going to go up. And we are where we are until my youngest finishes high school, so at least another 3 years.
Yeah.
And if I'm finishing these pieces, I want to be able to see them. So at least with a flat fold, I can have them around the house and get that done. So this was also a 2020 Spooktober piece.
Cool. So that's going in my pile.
Yeah.
And that will be getting finished momentarily. So stay tuned for the finish when I send it back to you.
Yeah. So, and that's it for my, I didn't bring my Christmas ones up when I had the 1, 2, 3. So choices for Christmas, but on my Instagram, I think I put it up. So I'm still going to do the vote. And I think it was Plum Street Sampler. And she does the Fanny Blackett.
I can't think.
Sorry, but I will put them on Instagram anyway. Pineberry Lane is what it was. So I have 3 choices, and I will work out which one will be my Christmas piece. So, but going forward, they're the ones that I'm going to keep in my rotation as time permits. So, because obviously with work and family and everything, I at least get stitching done Friday night with the Rebel Stitches. but that is it for me. And then my only major plans going forward for next year will be the Halloween sampler.
Yeah, we're both starting the Halloween sampler together. If you've watched me, you know that I enable Leanne through my Flosstube. Leanne, look at this. Because both Leanne love and I love Halloween, so of course I'm going to enable you. You should do this.
And then that falls my cart. And then I have other things that just fell in my cart.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, so, but that is it from us today. And my next one will hopefully be 2 weeks. So I'm going to try and so that'll be should be the middle. I think I'm lost track of time. So it might be 3 weeks, I think, to the middle. So
because we're on the 15th now. So it'll be another couple of weeks,
Yeah, so and there'll definitely be some exciting news next. Well, actually, by the time this comes out, I will be allowed to say it. My daughter had a little boy. He's finally joined the world, November 13th, and his name is Luca. So now I have a little granddaughter and a little grandson. So very excited, and obviously that will that will be official by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
So yay.
Because we're not supposed to say anything yet. I'm not even supposed to know, but I was in the room when she nearly spat her food across the table.
It was very, sorry.
So, what's going on? The baby has been born. Okay. All right, I thought you were choking. It's all good. These are things that ran through my head.
Yeah. So Mum and Bubs are both healthy. I don't know the details of time, weight, or any of that.
We know the date. That's it.
Yeah. My daughter had, she did have a Caesar, and she was still, I think, away with the fairies a little bit.
Off her face.
But she was in a good place,
Yeah.
and she was happy and very relaxed. So a much better better experience this time than when back in 2020 when.
But that was in the height of COVID lockdowns and all the rest of it. That wasn't a good experience for any new mum back then. Didn't matter what was happening.
Yeah.
But
so that's very exciting in the in our house. Yeah.
So the Stitchy Moon
have
grown.
We've got little moons.
New moons.
We do. Yes, we have new moons.
All right. I think we're losing the plot now.
We are. Yes, and we need to.
We've got to check out and get coffee and start stitching. Otherwise, we're going to have to end up going. So I'll just give you another view, and I'm going to do a little bit of editing for Leanne and add some stuff, photos and all the rest of it. So you will have now seen bits and pieces from the retreat and where we're staying. And, give you one last view of our view that we had for the weekend. And Leanne forgot to say it. If you've not yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it. And while you're down there, hit the like button as well, because that'll help me get seen on YouTube. Thanks. Bye.
See you later.
Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm just filling in for Leanne from Stitchy Moon Crafts. She forgot that she actually had her voting thing, so I'm going to do the vote for her. So we have Plum Street Samplers, Merry 2, this is number 2. We have Pomegranate Santa, which is number 1. And then we have Merry Christmas, Bringing Home the Tree by Pimberry Lane, and that is number 3. Just to recap, we have Pomegranate Santa, which is number 1. If you would like Leanne to start it, vote number 1 in the comments. If you would like to see her stitch Mary 2, vote number 2 for Mary 2. If you would like her to see her stitch Bringing Home the Tree, vote from Pineberry Lane, can't read, vote number 3 in the comments for Merry Christmas, Bringing Home the Tree. All right, I'm out again. Leanne, I'll see you next time. Bye.